Hey guys, so I wanted to do a quick video on how to find your contracts whenever you either have to write up a purchase contract or write up a listing agreement or anything. Just so you know, all of your contracts are in Transaction Desk. So right now you're looking at my screen, and this is the main screen I like to go to when I'm trying to either go to the MLS to search properties or go directly to Transaction Desk. So if you look up here, mfrlogin.com, that's where I log in. That's where I put my user and password, and it takes me to this screen. As you see in this screen, you'll see all these cool little tiles here. The main tiles you'll use is Matrix, which is obviously the MLS to do your searches and things like that. For this particular case, since we're trying to write up a contract and all of your contracts are in Transaction Desk, you can go directly to Transaction Desk right here in this tile. However, most of the time when you're writing up a contract, you're going to actually look up the listing and go directly from the listing into Transaction Desk. Why do you want to do that? Because it will import all the information from the listing directly into Transaction Desk, will save you a lot of time. So let me show you how to do that first. So if I go right here into my matrix, and let's just search for a property in Orlando, a random property that's active. So let's say we're searching for a property in Orlando, and just for fun, let's make it a $1 million and up. Okay, so we've got 151 matches in Orlando. I'm gonna pick this one that's for 1,049,000. Okay, nice little modern home here. Now, if you look at the top of the screen here, there's all these little icons up here. The one I'm looking for is the one that says TD, Transaction Desk. When I press that, it'll take me directly to Transaction Desk and ask me to form a new transaction. You want to form a new transaction for every deal that you do so you can keep your documents organized. You'll see that it automatically put the address in here for me. Now, I've done something to help a lot of you guys out. So if you are part of the Alliance group, you will have access to a few templates that I've created. So if you actually click down on this, I've actually created some templates here that will have all the contracts that you need. If you want to do a residential sale with a conventional loan, here it is. Residential sale with a VA loan, here it is. Residential sale with an FHA loan, it's right here. Residential listing package. I've got all this stuff here that you'll have access to if you're part of the Alliance group. If you don't have access, please reach out to me and I'll see if I can get you access. But for today, we're going to teach you how to do it kind of manually. So just bear with me here. So it's going to import all the data that you need right here. You don't necessarily need to click this box, use Wizard. The Wizard is cool. It lets you put information in that automatically auto-populates into your contract. But to keep it simple today, I'm not going to bring you into the Wizard. The one thing on the bottom here, it'll ask me which kind of agent I am. If I'm on the buyer side, I'm going to be the selling agent. So I'll click Selling Agent. So now I have my property here. I've got the address. It's going to import all that data. And all I have to do is, boom, press Create. Take a few seconds here. So it's going to create a transaction specifically for this property. So anytime any contracts that I do for this property will be in this transaction, and I can find them easily. Okay, so if you look here on the right-hand side of the screen, this will take you to all the important places. The first thing I like to do when I go into a new transaction is go to Contacts. Okay, why? Because all these contacts are the people that are going to be in the contract, and I want to make sure that they're right because they're going to auto-populate into the contract. They will automatically be put into the contract. As you'll see, I'm already listed as the selling agent. Says this is my Transaction Desk. It already has my information in there, so it brought me in as the selling agent. It has the listing agent. It pulled that in from the MLS listing we just took it from. The selling broker is eXp Realty LLC, and the listing broker is Phil Keen Real Estate LLC. Now, what are we missing here? Well, if it's a purchase contract, number one, we're missing the buyers. So we're going to have to add the buyers, and you just go right here to the top right where it says Add. I click Add, and it says Create New Transaction Contact. Perfect. I can go in there, and I can actually put all the information I need for the buyer. So boom, what type? It's the buyer. I put the first name, last name, put the email address. So since you're probably going to be doing a digital signing, it's important that you put the people's email address in here. I would also make sure that I fill in this preferred signature and preferred initials. Always remember that you want to put the person's legal name in there, not nicknames, because on a purchase contract, you're going to want their legal name. For instance, you guys call me Bobby, but my real name is Robert. That's what I should have on my contract. So I'm not going to fill this all out for the time's sake, but you have to put your buyers in there. Who else are we missing? Well, we're also missing the seller. Okay, so very rarely does a listing agent actually put the seller's name into the listing. So we're going to have to find that. Where do we find that? Well, let's go back to the listing. If we go back to the listing here and you go to these very top icons again, you see this little I right here? That's for IMAP. Right? You might recall seeing IMAP right here in that main login screen. It's also right here. So if you ever have to go directly into IMAP, you can be on that MFR login page and find it. In this case, it's just easy since we're already in the listing to just click the I button here. I click here, boom. It actually brings me to the public record for that property. And if I look right over here on this left-hand side, I can actually see the owner's name. So look, current owner is actually Way Cool Homes LLC. What a cool name for an LLC. That's a surprise. So why don't I just take that right there, Way Cool Homes, and just copy that. That's going to be our seller. And I'm going to go back to transaction desk to my contacts, and I'm going to fill that in. So I'm going to do the same thing, create new transaction contact. Now I'm going to put the seller, okay? And this is a LLC, so we could put Way Cool Homes, and you can put the last name as LLC. That way it fills both things in there. In this particular case, you might want to actually ask the listing agent what the person's name is or look up this company to find out the names. But if you just want to put their preferred signature as Way Cool Homes LLC, you can do that as well. Okay, so but for sellers, to be honest with you, you don't have to put all this stuff in here. The main thing is that you have the seller's name in the contract. So don't worry about this stuff here in the bottom. Just roll with it. Just put this in there and save this person as a contact. So now you see Way Cool Homes LLC shows here. Okay, so now you're done with the contact section. All your contacts are looking good. We didn't do the buyers because I don't have a buyer's names and we're not going to spend time on that, but just make sure that they're in here. And now we go to some place called Forms. So if you look on the right-hand side again, there's this link right here called Forms. Okay, so right now your forms are empty. There's none found because you haven't added any forms to this particular transaction. So the way you do that is, once again, we go to this Add button, and it asks you to add a form. So the first one we're going to add for this particular case is the as is contract. I'm not going to go into any addendums and things like that on this training video because I really want you just to get the contract part of it done, because that's the number one thing we need anyway. If you need any addendums, I can help you out with that individually, but this will get you to the stage where you can actually go fill out this contract fully yourself, and that way you can send it over to me and I can review it for you so we can get at least to that step quicker. So if I put here in the top right as is, a bunch of things pop up. The one you want is this one right here, as is residential contract for sale and purchase. If I click on that link, you'll see that the little checkbox checks here. Okay, I got it. And then I need to add this to my transaction. There it is. Okay, now I have that in my box. And if I click on that, it'll take me directly to that contract, and I'll be able to actually fill that contract out digitally. So I'll show you that for a second, and then I'll show you how you can send this contract to me by email so that I can review it for you, okay? One of these days when the contract pops up. There it is, okay. So here's the as is contract. You'll notice there's the address automatically imported, the legal description automatically imported. That's why we take the listing directly from the MLS. If it's not in the MLS, I'll do another video on that, but most of them will be in the MLS, and this is the way that you'll do it. Okay, so obviously you can fill out the contract here. You can put the price here. Let's say, 1.2 million for this property. You can fill out your deposit. I won't go into how to fill out a contract or how to write a winning contract in this training session. I'll leave that for another training session. So it'll be a separate one about the contract. But now you're here, and for those of you who've been through my trainings, you'll be able to fill it out the best you can. Don't worry, I will review all your contracts before you send them out, so you can't screw this up, okay? So feel free to fill it out the best you can and send it to me. How do you do that? Well, number one, after you get them filling your information, go to this file right here, and I want you to save it. Always save it. You know, every few minutes, just save the information so you don't lose it. So it's nice and saved. Now, how do you send it to me? Well, just go back to that save, and you'll see it says save as PDF. Okay, now it's saved as a PDF here, and just take that PDF and attach it to an email and send it to me. Shoot me a text, and I will review it for you, and I will make sure everything's correct before we send out an offer. So I hope this helps. I hope this gets you through the process of actually writing up the contract, and we'll do separate videos on actually how to write the contract and everything else, but I hope this helps. Talk to you guys soon. Take care.